Water. Belleville Area District Library Board will come to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At least. The agenda, we have roll call, and our secretary, Alma Hughes Grubbs, is not here tonight. Does it have to be can I ask Maria to do the roll call? All you have to do is look at the list right up here and say that. You gotta do something, gotta break it on in.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
We're on the spot.
Right,
Yeah. Tikavitz,
Here.
she did that right.
Here.
Hughes Grubbs,
Excused absence.
Jackson Smith is here. Peters,
Here.
Priest,
Here.
and Studerman.
Oh, you did that very well.
Mhm.
And you did Shehevitz, right? My first time publicly trying to say Joy's last name, it was sad.
Not even first time.
Is that German, Joy?
It is
Polish.
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 My husband is
Polish.
Polish, very.
Okay.
Anyway, the approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the agenda for June 10th and 25 meeting. Second.
It has been moved by Priest and supported by Studemeyer that the agenda as presented be approved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying nay. There are no opposing votes, and we have our agenda up. So now we are on item 4, which is the minutes of last month's meeting. And we've had our packet for a good little while now, so I imagine everybody's had time to look at them. And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion that we approve the meeting minutes for May 13, 2025.
It's been moved and supported. Moved by Studemeyer, supported by Jackson Smith, that the minutes be approved. Any questions or corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it, and there are no dissenting votes, and we are on to item 5, our public comments. And today we have an esteemed member of the public. Do you have anything you can enlighten us and tell us something going on that we don't know? We have to wait and read it in the paper.
Nothing exciting, except in Sumter on Saturday, they had that fishing derby. And the boy who got the award for getting the biggest fish got a 24-inch or a 2-foot long, oh, shoot, I forgot what
There's bass, there's.
Anyhow. Anyway, he's got this big smile, and so he's gonna be on our front page.
But he got a 2-foot long fish.
That's a
Yeah.
big fish.
Wow.
It is big.
How old was the boy?
I don't know, but he's a teenager,
Oh.
and he was so proud.
Those are hard to pull into. the
Yeah,
boat.
somebody said that, really.
That's right.
he
Was
probably
he in a
just
boat?
bought- No, they were on.
Oh, sure.
Wow. Yeah, that's even a bigger
Where was
deal to
it?
get that big of a fish.
Yeah, Sherwood Park, Sherwood Pond,
Sherwood Pond?
Sherwood Pond in Benody Park.
Wow.
And I think they're edible there. I mean, not like get out of Belleville. Like.
They're not poisoned.
So it must have a different
Oh, I know.
course.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like-
Went there.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, now we have to make sure we get the paper so we find out what kind of fish. Or if you remember, you can blurt it out.
Yeah, it'll come to me. It's a very common fish that's a bottom feeder.
Oh,
Yes.
carp.
They're really big
Oh.
too.
Carp,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you really can't eat those.
Yeah,
they're about-
that's not yummy.
You never see those on a menu.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Yeah.
Mm.
Either way, I'm sure he's very proud no matter what type of fish it
Yes.
is.
I'll have to show that to Rick,
Well,
because he's taken on fishing, knock out the single thing.
My nephew fished today and got it. My grandnephew.
Okay.
Got a fish?
Got a fish.
Okay.
And it was the first bus.
Okay.
Out of Belleville. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't digress, can we?
We did digress. Now, my understanding for this.
Speaking of fish, let's talk about the budget.
It's not a smelly. But the budget, we have to, for this hearing on the budget, we have to adjourn and then start back.
No, you just need to open the hearing and.
Okay. I want to open the hearing on our budget. We don't have any additional members of the public, so I'm assuming we don't, and I already talked to Rosemary. So I'm assuming we don't have any public testimony on the budget before we consider it. So I think it's time for, we are opening a hearing on the budget. Do I have to pound the thing?
Sure.
If you want to.
I just do it light.
Now I believe we can begin to discuss the budget. I do know, not only has our director been working hard on it and talking to me pretty regularly on it, but last week when I was out of town, the official finance committee, all three of them, all two board members and Mary Jo met, and I feel quite confident that they have done the very best we can, but you all, we want to get the presentation and make sure that everybody around the table feels confident. So Mary Jo or Tanya or?
Let me get started. And if you have any questions, Mary Jo is here. So included in your packet is the budget that we need to actually approve for 25-26 and which is the new fiscal year. And we also need to approve the amended budget for 24-25. Then we have a gas fee item that we also need to approve, so we'll do that a little bit later, but right now I just kind of want to walk you all briefly through the numbers. So on the first page, we start off with the revenues. And the grand total for our revenues is about midway through the first page. And that first column is our 23-24 audited numbers. So these are the numbers from last fiscal year. And you will see that the grand total for our revenues is the 2,636,783. If you look at the approved budget for 24-25, it's the 2,734,000. And then the proposed increase will bring our budget to 2,852,856. And then what we're proposing is an increase to 2,946,300. So I can kind of walk you quickly through the individual lines. So if you start off with the millage, you'll see that what we approved originally for the current fiscal year is the 2.6 million. And we had a lot of discussion about this. And we're proposing that we increase that amount to $2,675,000 and then 2.8 million for next fiscal year. And we still think we're being relatively conservative, at least for the current year. We may actually exceed the 2,675,000 that we're proposing here. And we're comfortable with the 2.8 million for next fiscal year. And remember, this is tied to property values.
And Maria, just as, because you're the new person, that this is what is it, July 1 to June 30th.
Oh, our
budget
budget, yeah.
year, fiscal year, so,
Okay.
I
was.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's a weird year.
And then our grant revenue, you will see that we're, our current budget is the 6.3 million. And we're amending that number to the 7,556,000, and then we're proposing $7,000 for next fiscal year. Mary Jo, I can't remember, we had a specific story behind this one, but I think this is just kind of based on anticipated activity.
The amendment is based on actual numbers. So that's why that's a little bit higher than our initial estimate, so. And that's the federal telecommunications grant revenue that we get every year.
The federal, what?
Telecommunications Act
Oh.
grant.
And is that at all threatened? Not yet.
Not yet,
Okay.
but well, I mean, possibly, I think there's a court case.
Hmm.
Next is our interest income. And you'll see for the current fiscal year, our budget was the 20,000. And what we're proposing for our 24-25 amendment is 18,000. And then for next fiscal year, we're thinking we're comfortable with 25,000. Keep in mind that previously, as you can see from our 23-24 audited amount of $331 that we were previously investing. So, but we are now, investing our dollars very conservatively. So that's why you see the interest income appear for the first time fiscal year. We have our state aid. There's little that has changed here. And then under that, we have our local library fines and fees. So I want to point out the increase for the penal fines. And what you'll see here is for 24-25 approved budget, it's 36,000. But what we're proposing for the current year is 79,000. And this reflects revenue over a 2-year period. Because we actually didn't get anything, Mary Jo, in 23-24.
23-24, we received it too late for it to be in that fiscal year, so it's
So
going over
the
this
payments
fiscal
are
year
gonna
and
give
stuff.
us
So that's how it looks so.
Yeah, so it's not a significant increase in our annual amount, it's just the fact that this is an over 2-year period.
And that's why it's blank for 23-24.
Well,
because
23E,
But-
kind of sort of, for 23-24, they kind of roll
Yeah,
up the total.
Yeah, they all roll it into one category instead of breaking it out, so that's why. it's-
Yeah, but when we do the
Yeah.
budget, we try to break it out, but the audited number is that total.
Okay.
So we're gonna see if we can,
But it still is low for 23-24.
yes. So next are the expenditures. So for our salaries, you'll see that the audited number for last fiscal year is the 1,118,063. What we had previously approved for this year is the 1,218,000. And we are proposing the same amount this year. And then for 25-26, our new fiscal year, we're proposing the 1,292,000. This will allow us, Mary Jo, you'll correct me, I wrote notes, will allow us to pay for paid sick time, because now there's some additional expenses that we have. Under benefits and FICA, you will see that there's also a corresponding increase here in the proposed budget, the 451,838. Under books and materials, we are proposing for next fiscal year 285,000, which is a $10,000 increase over our current budget. For supplies, we're keeping that flat at the 55,000. Professional fees, we're proposing a $2,000 increase for next fiscal year.
Why is there such a difference between the audited number on professional fees and the amount that we?
We have some line items that we usually don't hit, but we wanna make sure that the money is there in case we need them. So for
Mhm.
example, the architect and other, um. Legal too, frequently we don't need 7,000.
Mhm.
And then we also add a little bit extra for finance, basically extra work for the accountant as we move to a new system.
And here you see.
Oh, yeah, a new system that we're proposing. So there's a little extra dollars there as well in the finance. Bank fees for the proposed year, we're changing it to $2,000. And then for the amendment, and then for next fiscal year, we're maintaining that at $2,000, so that's what from the 4,000 that we had originally approved for this year. Our dues are flat. Under contracted services, our current budget is 130,000. And what we're proposing for this fiscal year is the 117. And then we're proposing for next fiscal year an increase to take that to 138,000. So you'll see that there's an increase in what we're anticipating next year under contracted services. And if you go to the next page. Under acquisitions and services, you'll see that there's also an increase here from the 10,000 that's being proposed for the current year to the 24,000 for this year.
Oh, that's on the same page on their copy.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the one
Yeah.
from.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a, pilot project this year for acquisitions where the order list was distributed to statewide libraries that wanted it. So I'm not sure if that program is going to continue in the
Okay.
future, so it might revert back to the way it was before. So that's why we had, this year we had a reduction.
Oh, okay. And then automation.
So automation, there's a $4,000 increase being proposed for next fiscal year. And for outside maintenance, is that your second? Is flat. Under telecommunications, you'll see that that remains flat as well.
That's good.
Under insurance, that is also flat. Utilities, originally we had $86,000 in the budget. And what we're proposing for this year is a reduction to 66,000. And what we're proposing for next fiscal year is 70,000. So if you look at the audited number for utilities, you'll see that we were just over $50,000. So I think we're still in the process of trying to figure out just how much we need to budget for utilities.
Yeah. Does that mean that when we plan this building for all these savings in utilities, that they've actually happened?
Yes.
Good.
It was really hard to fathom in the old building where leaked like a sieve as far as leaking, heating and, yeah.
Well, we had we looked at all kinds of things that were state-of-the-art savings, and it's wonderful to see that they actually are working.
So you're paying to cool and heat the outside, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
In the little-
this
in
is
that little
definitely
bit-
much
in
more
that-
efficient.
in that little funny building. We love that little building.
So under repairs and maintenance. The current budget is the 90,000, but we're proposing an increase to the 170,000.
We are proposing that due to some projects that we have going on this year that were not anticipated when this budget was first approved, that are just breaking now. So for example, the automated door
Oh,
system, and then, the vape detectors and, the flagpole lights. So there are different projects that we're working on. And I'm not sure, some of these, I'm not sure which fiscal year they're gonna hit, so that's why we've got the 170,000 for this year, and then you'll notice a big increase the following year too. That way we're prepared either way. Depending on when, when they do the work and when we get billed.
Their in publications. The original budget for this year is the 24,000. And we're reducing that to 20,000, and then for the new fiscal year is also 20,000. And you'll see here the actual is just over 14,000. Postage, the original budget was 12,000, we're proposing 10. We're keeping it at 10 for next fiscal year, and the actual was just over 1,000. Under computer hardware and software, the original budget was 80,000. The increase here takes us to 115,000.
We are-
And
This is a 5-year cycle where we have to
New
replace.
accounting
We're, yeah, the new accounting software, and also we bought a lot of computers this year.
Right. And
And under capital outlay, the original budget was 25,000 and that was. We haven't had to spend very much here, at least nothing.
yeah,
It's been spectacular.
our audit is very low.
Then our Wayne County penal fines. We're proposing for $40,000 for this current year and 40,000 next year. And that was part of our decision to have the money available in case we want to pay it.
This is so that we're committing our future penal fine revenue to paying off what we owe. So, I talked to the auditor about how to show that in this budget, so that's why we're showing the penal fines both as revenue and as an expenditure.
Actually smart.
Yeah, well, I know Mary Jo worked on that really hard. It's hard to contemplate, but then this is an odd thing that as we all know, that whole penal fine brouhaha. was
Oh,
really very
we
hard.
see this then for the next few years? then?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Until it's paid off, and I think we said, was that like 7 years or
Well, it'll probably be about 4 years.
4 years?
Then under miscellaneous, the budget is the 30,000, staying flat. The actual audited number for last fiscal year is the 8925. So below that, you'll see our grand total for expenditures. So our audited numbers, the 2,152,000 change. And what we had originally approved for this year's budget is the 2,567,177. And the increase that we're proposing will bring the total to the 2,681,177. And then the amount that's being proposed for next fiscal year is the 2.8 change. So below here, you'll see where our fund balance is. And you'll see for the audited numbers under the 23-24 column that there has been almost a $500,000 change to our fund balance. And what we're proposing for 24-25 would change the fund balance by the 146,000. And then underneath there, you'll see the 40,000 that we voted on earlier this year to pull dollars from our restricted account to use it for some of our, I think, repairs.
It was the door openers, yeah.
So then our year-end fund balance is right below that, and you'll see that, what we're proposing for the current 24-25 fiscal year is the 6,156,848, and then, under the proposed is the 6.2 million. Then below that, we show our committed funds, and this is related to a motion related to GASB 54, which is fund balance. So we'll be voting on that.
Separate.
Yep. And then we still have funds restricted for building contributions, and assign funds for future capital improvements. Mary Jo, I need a note here. Village related payment, so, oh, yeah. So related, so that's in reference to it.
I brought that Gatsby thing back, I think I have the wrong year.
There's no questions. This we do have one more document to look at. So this is our debt retirement fund budget. Which, like we said, it probably started around sometime in 2017. And it's a 20-year payment plan. So this doesn't end until 2037. So this is us repaying the debt for this building.
Oh, okay.
It's the bond.
For the bond.
Yeah.
That bond passed in 2016. And so 2017 was our first year to deal with it.
You have to pay for 20 years.
Okay.
And can we back up to the first page?
Mhm.
Under revenues, the very last bolded line, local library fees, fines and fees. And then it says penalty fine, so the first one I see is 36,000, and then it jumps from 36 to 79.
Those are the penal fines again. But that 79 is because of the late payment. She was telling when we.
Received too late.
We received it late, so it's just.
So it's kind of like doubled
Oh,
up.
so we
Mhm.
carried it over from one year to the next.
So it's almost a double amount.
And really, what doesn't show, and I think that's what you were bringing up too, what doesn't show on this report is that it was zero or close to zero in 23-24. Mhm.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't break out the detail. Just kind of shows the total in 23-24 for those fines and fees, but we didn't receive that money in 23-24, so that's why you see 79,000.
Large amount.
Mhm. Yeah,
increase
so it's not
one year.
extra money,
But
it's
really a doubling up.
Right.
Just when it
Just
came in.
Gotcha.
We actually received about 39,000. And so we're estimating that we're saying that we received that 39,000 and then we're gonna estimate that we're gonna get 40,000 this year.
Okay, Gotcha.
And
so we'll go back to normal.
right, we'll see that big bump.
Right.
Well, and we don't know if the penal fines will get to normal when, I mean, you know,
With everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
that, well, we're lucky that that's the one thing in our budget that we have to worry about.
Right.
And it wasn't due to our problem, it's the county.
Exactly.
And like Mary just said, this is the one that ties back to, we show the revenue,
So we show it in revenue and expense.
then we show it in expense because we didn't pay them.
Right.
Got it,
Mhm.
okay. It is kind of confusing.
yeah,
Most certainly.
Yeah, it is.
Appreciate that you're noticing, yeah, cause that would be a standout thing, from something to go double and then down, up and down. Oh, well. This is a time for questions all the way through, anything that we already talked about, but is still confusing, ask the question. We need to thoroughly understand.
We also talked a little bit about repairs and maintenance, and I know we went 90,000, 170,000, and that was with some of the things that we've done here just recently with a automatic door?
Or that we will be doing,
Okay,
so that I actually anticipate not spending 170, but I wanted to make sure we could cover it if.
Right.
If they show up on our doorstep tomorrow to install the vape detectors, that we
Yep.
can pay them. And any other weird emergency.
is there anything else that you're kind of anticipating? The flagpole.
The flag poles, the vape detectors,
We only have a few days left.
yeah, so I think, when I had to put this to bed, I just didn't know this yet, so. When the bills were going to hit, so. The other thing, and I reported on it in my director's report, but there might be some costs associated with the. Improvement to our elevator. So.
Very expensive.
Any music?
Right, elevator music for our wooden floor, right? Maybe a band.
What are they gonna do to it? Or don't you wanna talk about it now?
I know you don't, it's some kind of state, are they saying it's a
State law
state
change.
There's a
regulation?
change to the
Oh.
state ordinance, it has to do with how the door. Some kind of monitoring system for the door opening system. And it's very expensive, it's $27,000.
But it's a requirement that's mandated.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, like, is this really mandated? I wanna talk to Oleum Construction about this, not just Otis
Seems
Elevator.
like it works fine.
So,
So it's
Like
like
a
a
safety
That's
issue
what-
where it senses someone.
I think it's a safety issue, but it sounds like when I actually looked at the state ordinance, it had to do with, like,
Tell you.
if you had to. I think we might be grandfathered in, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
But I wanna know though, like, what is this, and is this something that, do we need to do it?
The
If we
day
don't-
we were
if we
reviewing
don't- if
this
we don't-
budget,
Is
she
when
got
I
the
this
mail
yeah.
that said
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Should we be-
was
It's like,
changing.
must we do this? Additionally, should we do this,
Yeah.
even if it's not a must, so that's something that I need to delve into.
Well, wouldn't existing buildings be grandfathered?
It sounds like unless you're like pulling a permit to do major reconstruction, I don't think it applies to us, but I wanna just make sure, so.
I was pleased when she showed me that she didn't think it applied to us. And I hope that proves to be the case, because that's quite a bit of money. And just normal maintenance for the elevator.
For
is
something that you
quite
can't
high.
see the need for. If it was like it was unsafe or you had an experience where the door hesitated or something, we've never had that.
No, Trollware was when the state came to.
Yeah, so at any rate,
Keep us
that's,
posted.
yeah, it's something I wanna get to the bottom of, but I wanted to make sure that we were covering it just in case.
You can see a theme that Mary Jo is. There's always a little buffer in there for the just in case.
Right.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Well, we got a very good just in case
Yeah.
budget here. You can see when you compare what the audited. And then what we're looking for, but things. Are much higher, we all know it, you walk out in the world, things
Yeah.
are much higher right now than they were, so. It is good for us to prepare for. Being able to handle what's gonna come to us.
Well, that's all the questions I got.
Questions all around, anybody else with questions?
Make a motion to approve oh, wait.
Close the
Oh,
hearing.
Oh.
Okay.
So this is a public comment or question. We have acted as the public, and if anybody falls in the door, they don't really have much time to do that. Because now we're going to close the public hearing on the budget and go back into our regular meeting where we can consider motions.
I make a motion to,
Well, you wanna reject, you want us to do something else?
do we have to do gas fee first, or?
Do
Oh.
you wanna do building committee and bylaws, or do you wanna go straight to finance?
Oh, this is all under
Oh, all
finance.
right, all right.
Wait a
Okay.
minute, just hold it, hold it. Poor Joy's so happy. She's so happy now she's retired. She's going way ahead.
Got a motor running.
Yeah, she does. She's ready to go. Okay, the public hearing is closed and now we are on item 7, which is our committee reports, and we can start, so Joy can have something to say, with the building committee.
I don't have anything to say,
Yeah,
except for when we
nothing to
get to
say.
accounting, I see Otis already got a good hunk of money this month.
Yeah, they get, the elevator people are the ones that we're for sure paying almost all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they need a whole bunch of 37,000 more money. Item, any on building that's in your director's report? I don't,
Just about the elevator.
the elevator,
Yeah.
yeah. So we've talked all about that. And the bylaws committee, please.
No report.
Yeah, you can report to John that you're following up in his footsteps very well.
Same script.
Right, now, Tanya and the finance committee. Now, Joy,
I make a motion to approve the 25-26 budget.
Second,
it's been moved by Chehevitz and supported by Stonemeyer that we approve the 25-26 budget. And, we have had a good deal of discussion, but it's a big issue, so if there's any other questions, we'll entertain them before we vote. And do we need a roll call vote for this? Thank God, because I always mess those up. I never do them right, but anyway. So, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying nay. Nobody voted no. So there's no negative votes and the budget is approved for 2025-26 has been approved unanimously.
Now you need a
Go ahead. Now we need to look at the amended budget, which was in the other, we talked about all of them and I'm at the same time.
so I motion that we approve the 24-25 amended budget as presented.
And that was second.
So it was moved by our treasurer Studemeyer and supported by our vice chair Priest that we approve the 24-25 amended budget. That's our current year and the amendments that we looked at and just talked about. Any other last minute questions come to anybody's mind? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no? The ayes have it. It's a unanimous vote. And now we have the Gatsby. Will you explain that to it? It's a budgeting term that's confusing to.
So, yeah, so we're required to, if we want to commit dollars, we need authorization from the board in order to commit the dollars. So if you recall, we went through a report and we have dollars remaining in our year-end fund balance. So what we want to do here is use 1.3 million of that fund balance that has been collected from our millage and use it for our year-end contribution for our operation, so.
GASB 54 is it's a group of policies for
It's
governmental
governmental
entities.
accounting.
Yeah,
Since,
it's totally weird.
since our tax year and our fiscal year are 6 months, kind of 6 months apart, basically what we're doing is saying money that was collected in the winter 2024 tax bill, that millage, that we're taking half of that money and putting it towards the following fiscal year budget.
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
So it kind of, it reduces our fund balance. Yeah, we're saying that this is what we're gonna commit to use it for.
Yeah, we can't, collect all of that money and then spend it all in we need to be able to.
Not have any
Yeah, great.
operating left.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And every single year we have to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that, so.
Annual.
Okay.
So you'll get used to it. But it sounds so crazy, you don't even understand what the heck, so it's government.
So Mary Jo has to write it out for me,
Accounting.
so I can.
The universities have to do GASB too, don't they, are they governmental universities?
I would think so.
But I don't imagine you have to look at the university budget all the time. Anyway,
Do we have to vote on this?
yeah, so we have to have a motion and a vote.
So,
I move, can I do it?
oh,
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
read it.
yes.
I gotta read it.
Just to
yeah.
read it, word.
It's real goofy.
So, I motion to commit 1.3 million of the 2024 collected library millage that is in the fund balance to use for the 25-26 fiscal year's general operations. This is for GASB 54, which is, fund balance reporting and government fund type definitions.
Here's
We're
our
using the
motion.
24 elected budget, so
So somebody-
25,
Just second this?
second half of the year.
Yes, you can second.
I'm so anxious.
Yes, you want to do something. So it has been moved by Stonemeyer and supported by Priest for we approve the Gatsby 54. I am not going to restate the whole motion because I wouldn't do it right unless you made me read it. But that's what we're doing. Everybody get it? As best we can, as whatever our little brain.
Explained it very.
Mere
Yes, it
mortals.
is. As mere mortals, yeah. And many of us have been with this, through this several times, but it's never gonna make real good sense to normal people, but these accounting types, it's regular, it's nothing out of the norm, So we are ready for a vote, I do believe, and I can do this as a regular voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying no or nay. I hear no negative votes. We have passed the GASB by unanimous vote, as we have all our budget issues, and that's very important work. And in June, if we didn't get this done tonight, we'd have to come to a special meeting at the end of the month, and we don't want to do that. So we did big stuff. Congratulations, board. Congratulations, director. It's painful. It's really painful, and I really do appreciate the finance committee, and we're lucky to have the finance committee we have. They have Joy, who's got all this experience with library administration, and Tanya, who's the star finance person in the whole entire state of Michigan, can't do.
Because we say so.
She's got the biggest city, I think it's more confusing than the state budget, I tell you.
Now, this is gonna look, is this gonna look different under, or no, this is gonna look different under our new accounting system.
Hopefully both of those
Okay.
documents will look different, yeah.
Okay.
Which is gonna look good. Where you?
Our accounting, accounts payable and.
Oh, our accounts payable are gonna look
Is it-
different.
Yeah.
Well, we know
Because of
it's
different software?
When we get the new system,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
it probably won't be that different, it's the same concept, but.
Yeah.
Well, it's the
should
same
be fine,
bill.
A little bit different, yeah.
I mean, we got the
Same
same
bill, the same
creditor.
vendor, same, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it look a little bit more complicated.
Bunch of stuff that makes.
Right.
areas that
Are they gonna come to do the training?
Yes, they're gonna be on site.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeesh,
God bless you numbers people. Oh my.
Mhm.
yeah.
It was so much money.
So intimidating.
Come in here, please.
Laughter, and I thought, let's just say congratulations on your big promotion.
you.
Do you know this child asked me the last time, oh, is that where you sit? I came here for a book club and this was a seat and I said, well, I want to sit there. I sit there all the time. And she said, is that where you sit? I've never been here.
Sat at this end.
I'm staying out of it.
Having
See
a
what's
fun
on the
meeting.
screen?
We're happy, we're always
We're
glad
having
to
a, well, I'm
see you.
just here talking to my sister.
Well, your sister, it's lovely, you could sit here.
It's a
and be
fun meeting, it's a
visitor.
budget meeting, don't you
You
love
wanna
that?
comment on the budget?
No.
You're so happy
I
that you
just
don't
can't
have to.
How much money you do have compared to when I was the director, so. Something must be going right.
Must be, well, we've done all the heavy lifting, now we're just going through. And have you met Maria?
No.
Well, Maria Jackson Smith is our
Hi,
new.
Maria. Okay,
And
nice to meet you.
Debbie was a former library director for the little library.
Mary Jo.
And she was Mary Jo's boss for 28 years before
She
Mary.
was my first hire, and my best hire.
And she's just taken over Mary Jo's, but.
Yeah, and now she's coming up and trying to act like the boss. After she, I fussed at her, you know, all
What
this
did you
stuff
say,
that we've
assistant
been
director?
reading in this room.
That's
She
Hillary.
hasn't been here.
Hillary is assistant director. Yes.
All right. So
We
now
digress.
we digress, sorry. But we're at item D, which is the outreach committee, Maria.
Nothing to report as of yet.
Ah, well, we've got things.
School just got out.
Several of these items, the next one too, item E.
No
is-
reports.
is
Oh.
No
One
report as
school
well.
Yeah.
And because in his first year, he was so busy, item F, the policy committee,
You got my, you got me working hard the very first year, so.
we sure do.
Posted now.
That's right.
Now
Very
you can
important.
just say no report.
Yeah.
You also can tell John you've
Yeah.
followed in his footsteps
Yes.
very well. And one of our busiest committees is our art committee, but our art committee chair reports enough in 1 month to cover 3. And she's got, what do we have down there now? That's Linda's staff. Now,
It's up there now.
Staff art show is done.
the staff art show, and it's a short one.
It's
right?
impressive.
No, one, but yeah,
How long will it be up? For a month?
yeah, it's just in between the two.
Really, before we leave, we should all go around and look and see how talented our staff is. And definitely I have to, I was away the first part of this month, so I'm a little behind. So that's our report on the art committee, is that the temporary exhibits are our first ever, our staff exhibit. It's up. And I'm gonna go around because I've been needling people, all our creative people, and telling them, oh, you should put something in the thing, so maybe they did. Okay, that takes care of our committees. So now we are on the exciting item of approving accounts payable. I wanna know what this piece of paper is gonna look like to make it look different. Anyway. Anybody have questions? Usually you all have questions over this stuff. I've looked at all.
Oh, so you got those, right?
And
I don't
yeah,
wanna look at them. I gotta do them for TLN and
Debbie Green, our former director, still serves on the committee for the TLN, the library network.
Oh.
So she's still doing heavy duty library stuff. And she still heads one of our book clubs, the African American literature book club, which I attend occasionally and generally disrupt. Anyway, so any questions?
To approve
Oh, okay.
accounts payable.
We have a motion by Chad,
Second.
to approve and a second by our treasurer by Studemeyer to approve account payable. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying nay. The accounts payable are approved by, with no dissenting votes. And that's the end of our voting, our action items, but we now go to what I think is always our most interesting item, and that's our direct. So Mary Jo. Debbie let you see it.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to show you that overall, we are up for the month in almost all of our categories. The exception is youth and teen programming, and it has to do with, visits, outreach visits to the schools. I think that the children's librarians are changing things up a little bit this year. We've had more schools coming to us inside our building classrooms, but we have not been doing the giant assemblies at the school, so that's why that number's a little bit down, but our in-library programming is very robust, so we have a lot of school groups coming through.
School groups should be counted as a program.
They are, we do.
Okay.
I spoke already about the elevator, and that was one of the items that was, I believe, on the, accounts payable. We had to prepay Otis Elevator to do some work for us so that we could pass our state inspection, so. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to figure out, get to the bottom of their proposal for, the door lock monitoring system. It's in response to the state of Michigan code.
For some.
Yeah. I have been working with, our, library attorney. And we sent a proposed, waiver and release document to the county to review. This was per our attorney's recommendation. And, we did just receive a counter proposal back from Wayne County, and I'm gonna be talking to our attorney tomorrow, because there are a couple things we're still hoping that they can tweak on that, but hopefully we can get that. So
We got a
pretty
counter
soon.
proposal. Is it clearer than the last thing they sent us? I mean, you get it, you get what it is that the counter proposal is.
I do. Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
So anyway, that's still in process, but I feel like we we've got a contact person with the county that we're working with, so it seems to be flowing pretty well. We've got our new adult services librarian, Rachel Davies, has started full-time. And I know that the adult services department has been working on kind of looking at the different jobs and the various collections to see what the best fit is for purchasing. So they've been kind of taking stock of that. Same thing with divvying up how they do programming. So it's a good opportunity to just review and evaluate what they're doing.
Where did Kelly go?
She's retiring from us and just went on a different career path. Yeah.
Okay.
So she went back to school. We are signing up at the beginning this weekend for our summer reading program, so we're all very excited about that. We've got lots of cool decorations up in the kids' room.
These big crayons.
Giant crayons.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Our theme this year is Color Our World. And this is a program for all ages, so we do a program for grown-ups as well, so you do not need to be a child in order to read a book and win a prize, and do that as a grown-up too.
You don't
So the
even need
whole
to
family
be a
can
child.
participate.
You don't even need to be a child to go into the kids' room and feel good.
Mhm.
It makes you feel like a kid.
Yep, so, got lots of really cool programs happening in June. We have our history trivia night, African American History Edition, and that is going to be brought to you by our very own historian, Nikki. So
It's gonna be
that's
on Thursday.
gonna be this Thursday, so please, show up. It's The last trivia night was really cool, so it's should be good.
It'd be fun.
That's gonna be at 7 p.m. We also have a program, on Juneteenth. Juneteenth, what happened, and that's gonna take place Monday, June 23rd at 6:30. We have a new staff member, a new addition to our library family. We have a tortoise in our youth, our children's room. It's on the reference desk down there. Yeah, we have a naming contest going on right now, so kids can vote on their favorite name. The candidates are Shelley, Tank, or Tortellini, so.
And I think this picture is actually is a little bigger than,
What he really is, yeah.
yeah, I went in there.
My fault.
I went in there today and the children's like, it wasn't the woman who was staffing the desk, the children's substitute librarian. She was so happy. He had just entertained her while she's sitting there doing her job. And she said that when you can kind of see it, he's got these little red dots on his little legs, which were tucked in when I was down
What does he
there.
eat? So he eats, no more than what's bigger than his shell, but it's, he really likes leafy greens and fruit, but we gotta stay away from acidic fruits and vegetables. So far, he really loves bananas and anything leafy green.
Really?
Yeah. He ate part of
And
the
you
strawberry today. so
Throw
it felt
them in
great.
the water?
No, he's a tortoise, so he's all dry.
So you get him out of the water and he eats,
So he has a little plate in his,
and he's got a little water thing.
in a little water thing, and then he gets a bath every day.
Oh
And
my God.
yes, he is so cute.
It's a bath every day.
Yeah, he is a special tortoise. He's got he's from the rainforest, so he likes humidity and moisture and dry. And heat. He likes heat. So his tank has to stay between about 80 degrees. And then his humidity has to be about 70%. So it was a trial and error for about a week and a half, but we figured it out. Wet towels on top really help. So he gets a bath every day to make sure he doesn't dry out and that he's healthy and happy. And well, I say he, but it's a they. We don't know what his sex is because he's still too little. And we are fostering him. He does not live here. He is up for adoption and he's through, I can't remember the name of it. I don't know if you got it, but it's a reptile rescue group. And he's going to hang out until he's too big and then he goes back. Or if somebody.
And do you know how
How
big
big?
he's gonna get?
He can get pretty big.
They grow so.
And they're really
But
getting
they
really
grow.
old.
Yeah.
He can live over 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
How short are they?
he is up for adoption. So
This is a
he
commitment.
adopted. Mhm.
I better not get him, I'm too old.
And the organization gave us everything. They gave us his tank and everything inside. We had to purchase some like greenery for him to make it feel a little bit more homey.
And that tank, it's really attractive.
It's a great learning opportunity for the
Yeah,
kids.
so we have programming in
Fun
mind.
for the
Yeah.
kids.
Got some books on Tortai.
We're done.
How old is he?
He is
Yeah.
just,
Like
he's
a
just a
baby.
few months. He's a baby. He is a very
How
very
did they
big.
get him?
Huh?
How did they get him?
I don't know if he, like,
Left
Park
other
Rescue, sometimes, I think he's also breeds, some of the species, but it's rescue as well, so. And they're working on getting a facility and everything like that, so, and he's local. But they are going to hang out with us until they're too big for us to handle. And then they go back, or if they get adopted between now and however long that could be. So,
It's really energized our staff.
yes,
I haven't
it
talked
has.
to one staff member about that turtle that hasn't been just all excited, and I'm telling you, I think I'm gonna sit in there and watch. She was sitting there working, but she's watching what the turtle was doing.
We
I
talked
think I'm
to
gonna-
them, we conversate and we have a team tortoise team. Me and Karen are the main people, and then We've got some volunteers to help, feed him and everything when either we're on vacation or it's off, it's the weekend or something, we're not here.
So if anybody in here brings kids to this library regularly, bring them back, cause they're
Yeah.
gonna really love that.
We've talked about really cool programming and changing like the outside of his tank, so it follows like themes and doing maybe more videos on YouTube about, library
What he's doing today.
being, what is it like to be a library tortoise and stuff like that. So we've got plans. We were just trying to get to where he's happy.
So when will
Healthy.
names be decided?
I don't know. Karen's in charge of that.
Oh,
And
okay.
Karen's going on vacation, so probably after next week, or she might pick it before she leaves.
A
It's a
lot of
really
kids,
big-
they've really weighed in on that. They're really weighing in on that. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to weigh in, I wanted it named after me. because Slow and steady wins the race is my motto. Oh, well, we can't have everything. But that is, you really ended on a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love that. Plus, all these, this one, I wanna give Carla Hayden, did we talk about that last?
We
month?
touched about it at the last meeting, but it had just happened. So I just wanted to give you an article that kind of had some background information about that.
I saw her interview.
Talks about her being fired. It also talks about the head of the copyright office.
Oh, it's interesting that, speaking of all the Library of Congress compound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For AI. So,
Well,
also, the ALA document that I put in your board pack, is not entirely true anymore. The judge in the ALA lawsuit for IMLS had issued a preliminary injunction again. It denied the motion, for issuing a preliminary injunction against dismantling the IMLS. And he did so.
The motion.
He did so because, he believes that the case itself was brought to the wrong court, this jurisdiction, so. It had nothing to do.
The staff are not back at their office.
I don't know. I don't know. The other court cases still. Still in effect, the state
Yeah.
case, there was the multi-states that sued that one is still in effect.
So this positive headline is on hold.
Maybe it might be on hold.
Ay, ay, ay. No right to inform at public library. Wow. Wow.
And then, yeah, I have the article about the public, but let you go ahead and the article does a much better job of explaining it than I do, but the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals made a ruling that. It's kind of chilling the libraries and free speech.
Oh, we got so many things coming up and Nikki is staying busy, busy, busy.
My middle name.
Well, as usual. It's wonderful stuff. And this Juneteenth thing, I think I'm gonna do. Okay.
And that's all I've got.
Well, it's always the most fun thing. And all these, the whole staff is so creative and they come up with so many of these good flyers for every darn thing and it just makes you feel good. Makes the meeting happier. We didn't have so many depressing things to talk about. We did the budget and it wasn't depressing. So, thank you very much. Anybody have any more questions for Mary Jo? Anybody have any questions for Debbie?
It's been 10 years.
You've been
It has
regent for
been
10 years.
years.
I was here.
May 15th.
I've been here 11 years. I started my goodness.
I'm wise when you're having
You-
fun.
You were here, yeah, time flies, you were here way before that, oh my goodness, so you've been here as almost.
You were here and then
I
we're
came
here.
You had a
in.
little, you came in
Yeah.
with me and then you had a little.
Jill
break.
was the only one here from the original board.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, when John left, it was very hard for him.
Actually, he wasn't on the original.
He
No,
wasn't,
He was on,
like
he
2
was,
years in.
2 years.
no, 6 months, cause we
6
had,
months.
cause,
Mm.
what did his
Oh.
name?
Interim appointed board.
What was his
Oh.
name? Paul Henning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
run. He didn't run, he'd been appointed, but he didn't
And it
run.
came really fast.
So
Okay.
John
I
ran
didn't
for
realize
his
it came
seat.
that fast.
Yeah.
Debbie knows everything.
Well, only about the
The
past,
history
don't
of
ask
this
me about anything.
So,
Don't ask what I did yesterday. Not yesterday, I know.
we now are open for our trustee comments. And we have such wonderful trustees here
I
to
have a
comment.
comment.
All righty.
I saw Michelle Montour, our art committee chairperson at the farmer's market. And she reminded me about the art exhibit of the wonderful talented people here, the staff. So I went around and looked at it and I highly recommend it. It was really, it's surprising how talented everybody is. So before you go home tonight, you should all walk around. and see.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and that means.
And it's
we
only
have
here
to
for a
finish.
short time, like less than a month, right, Nikki?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you gotta see where it goes.
And it's the first ever. And by popular demand, we might get this, who knows, we'll see how the staff responds and how, but I'm so happy there's so many creative people here. Huh? Who wants to go next? Good.
Just wanna thank Mary and Joe for putting together the budget. You know, walking us through it and everything, all the hard work that she puts into this was really appreciated.
Our heads didn't explode.
Speak for yourselves.
I have a question for you, Madam Treasurer. Are those new glasses?
Relatively new.
They really make you look very official. I thought maybe you got them to go with your new job. Hey, what goes on?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a new
my
job.
goodness. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And Joy's too.
Now I got my new glasses to go with my non-job.
And her husband.
I am retired. I'm subbing.
Just
I'm
look at her,
retired.
she's a
Yeah.
whole different person.
Yeah.
And Ricky has glasses too.
But not as- not really.
Told him he had to be cool.
I noticed them.
He told him he had to be cool with
If I
me.
can't get some new glasses, I feel like I.
I gotta get
They're
cool.
not matching.
But they're similar, kind of artsy looking.
It's apple, right?
He was here before the meetings.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I didn't even talk to him about his glasses, tell him next time.
I did notice this class.
Yeah, I did notice.
Well, which one of you two?
I signed, I have a 5-year-old, I've had a 5-year-old for about a year, which is why I'm incredibly busy. But, he's doing summer camp at ECC, so I got the, permission slip for the library dates, and I said, okay, which day can I actually join? So I will be coming on a Thursday, with the kids, but Tommy's gonna be here.
How old are the kids?
5.
1.
Well, she's got a.
I have a 15, an
I
almost
thought you had,
15-year-old
like-
and a 20-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're all,
Yeah.
my son's home for the summer. But the 5-year-old is just, I've had to recalibrate my whole life. So, yeah, but he's gonna be he's gonna be doing the so I'm gonna make it my business to be here. They're coming on just one time they're coming on a Thursday. I don't see it here, but it's on the permission slip. So I'll have to look again. There's
I'll have to
something.
look at the calendar.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
things that, like all the like different days. and different
Mhm,
times, so,
mhm.
yeah.
Yep, so I'm excited for him, but I'm definitely gonna join him.
You'll have a wonderful time, you know.
Oh, I know.
Kids in there, I love it, even when I don't have a special connection to any of the kids, if I happen to get here at a time when they're doing something, it's just fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
They love it. He came last year too, so it was exciting for them too, so.
The kids in the Belleville area are lucky. This
So
is a
that's the
great
early
place.
childhood center?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Still want to go over and see that.
Well, now, looks like.
I don't have any real big announcement, other than I was here, yesterday and just enjoyed the farmer's market and the auto show and knowing that the library's right in the middle of all of it, so it was really, really nice. It was very busy, lots of people.
Now, that aerial view picture that you put on the paper, that was the first one, right?
Yeah, that was last week's.
The first,
First of the season.
are they that big all the time?
It's bigger now.
Did they always have cars over there in the field?
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't full.
Not at the beginning.
And now you can't turn down Royce Street, cause you used to be able to come and turn down Royce, I had to go all the way.
That,
That's
that car show is
Is that
getting
everyone?
like huge.
Yeah, it's very, quite honestly, I mean, I go to quite a few car shows in the area, the local ones. This is a really.
There's a big one on Sunday though, the one in
Do you
Big Creek
have-
Park on Sunday,
have-
Father's Day.
No, I don't.
Is there- Are they still?
No,
gonna
I
have
just
some?
like looking at them, it's just.
Father's Day,
The cinnamon.
they have one at Big Creek Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really big one.
Yeah.
Really?
But that's an annual, not
Well,
just Monday.
There's also
Oh, but
one
every Father's.
at, Blue
I
Sky,
have to.
there's one out there, Blue Sky, is it Blue?
Blue
Yeah.
Sky is
Sky, the ice
Ice
cream,
cream place.
not blue,
hamburger.
not
joint.
Blue Sky.
Oh, that's the marijuana
cannabis.
Blue Sky Diner.
Oh, there's a,
Eureka and what is that? Huron? No, not Huron.
I thought you were
It's that
telling me the
burger.
cannabis.
Me
You're never driving Eureka, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Blue Sky.
Yeah.
yeah.
Blue Sky, area.
people don't get those.
I don't know. I don't know about the marijuana.
Oh,
It's
this
like
one,
diner.
They're
the
all time.
ice cream place, right?
Oh, well.
We've been there since my kids were little.
We digress.
We do as usual.
Well, thank you.
Digressive meeting.
We digress again, and now it's my turn, and I must admit, I don't have a list of things to say, I just am really proud of this group, this organization. And so grateful to the budget, passing a budget and working on a budget, probably for a director of anything, and I was a director, it is the hardest thing that you ever have to do. And Mary Jo is so great at it. And we have such a strong support on this board for our budget and the best thing for all of them is that the community has supported us really well so that we can go year to year and have, make sure that we're fine and generally be like this one showed that the actual audit shows we didn't have to spend quite as much, but we've got it if we need it. So I'm really pleased at where we are right now, and we have 15 minutes before the library closes. So
Extra ones.
we all have a chance to,
So, Madam Chair,
it's time for Dan.
He's
I
found
make
his
a mo-
rhythm.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
There's a motion, there's support all around.
Oh my gosh, you're.
Is it always that loud?
Only when she's on a roll.